everybody, it's Texas Tiger Diggs, and I just want to do the roundup for this week. I'm going into the weekend. This is actually my Friday. Fortunately, I'm on call this weekend again, so I hope the phone doesn't keep me busy all weekend. But neither here nor there. Back to this subject. I went out specifically with this, and this is unusual for me. I don't do it that often. I probably should do it more often. I did a whole week with one detector. I used the one detector and one coil, which is extraordinarily rare for me. And I went with the Makro Racer here, which is really giving me some great results. And I also went with not the stock coil, but the 10 by 5.5 coil. If you have a Fisher F19, this is almost precisely the same size as the Fisher F19. In passing, I just compared them, and that's basically what this coil is. And I noticed with this coil that I was able to hit small targets and get that feel. It's an unusual feel, and I guess you get it after you've been detecting a while, and you might just get it right off the bat. When you hit a target, then you get that short, fast snap. It's almost like a ping. It will stop you in your tracks. Even if it's not a high conductive target, it will still be a short, snappy sound, and that's usually a sign of a target that's going to be within a degree or more of the size of a coin or ring, which in my suburban parks is usually what I'm going to be looking for. So I went out, and this does not look impressive, but this was not a lot or long hunts. The one hunt over here is almost separate because this was specifically a test of the new coil. I went into the trashiest part of a park that has one of the trashiest areas, and I swung it at a pretty good pace, and I got that short snappy sound with this, and that short snappy sound turned out to be coins. Now these are not impressive coins. In fact, they're zinc, and I believe these three are not zincs, or they're not crusty. So it's not a great return, but that's 8 coins returned out of an area I've been over with several machines, and for some reason with this coil and the Makro Racer, I had that snappy hit, and I hit these coins in very, very trashy areas where I was between bottle caps and pull tabs, modern and old. So that was very satisfying. And that's really a separate part and not really a part of this roundup. So let's just start here. And this was probably about 2 and a half hours in parks I'd beaten up pretty thoroughly before. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. Why, if you're starting out in detecting, your best choice might not be to park jump from one to the other, but to find a park that has a few finds and concentrate on it. That's especially important for me because I'm extraordinarily bad at first approaches to parks. I don't know why. It's virtually always I hit that park and I think, God, this thing is a dump. I'm never going to be able to find anything here. And you know, I keep saying what I call the ring park had 7, 8 silver rings and 2 gold rings. I just came back because I realized that my first impressions are bad quite often. Not sure why, but once I've got the park, got the rhythm, and seen it for a while, then I'll begin to pick up whatever finds are available. Anyway, this was a pretty good little hunt here. Very short, you know, and 4 quarters, which is always nice. If I'm not going to get silver or gold, you might as well get some quarters. Love to get a half. Haven't had a half yet. I'm not sure why the half has eluded me. But there we go. So that was not bad. I'll just call the rest of these, with the exception of that, crusty zincs, and kick them off to the side as well. Now these other was like 35, 40 minutes, 35, 15, 20 minute hunts in places I'd beaten up before. And I have been very good at getting buttons lately. These metal buttons are not that common in the States. You know, outside of outside of old houses, etc. In a park, you don't run across very many, but I have been hitting them very regularly with this detector because of that short, snappy sound these buttons make. So I've been hitting those pretty good. So that's just a button, and for some reason, there's a lot of these little brackets, these little aluminum brackets out there, and they make great sounds. And this looks like a brass fitting of some kind, maybe to an air hose or something. So those were just my junk targets, and this, of course, red as a nickel. And for a short hunt, you know, this wasn't bad at all. You know, and these were places I pounded like a missile. But you guys also know that on my weekdays, my hunts are usually restricted either to lunches or to and occasionally after work. And some of these were after work. So the bigger days. All right, and the next day I had a great lead day. These are some of the small coin size trash targets I found, and I had a big lead day. I had 2 lead projectiles from bullets, and they had were very mixed sounds when I ran across them. So I hit one of those 2 back to back, and I also had a shotgun head stamp. So it was a in the same area of this park, a place I'd been over several times. I just had missed them, and so there was a little firearms return, or at least bullet return, and then I've got a couple of quarters. I got another dime. I found a little surface bright shiny zinc. Like I said, I put the zincs and I scratched this one, but it is also it's a copper penny. Another copper penny. Very good run of copper pennies that day. And I'll just classify that one as a zinc. All right, and then my the last day, which finished off today, and I just had a couple, and I had this is one of my few times where I hit a 95, and you know 95 is a big silver. In this case, it was the other alternative, which were 2 stacked clad quarters. So, and that was not too bad. That's a couple more quarters, and buttload more. There's another dime. And some more zincs, 1 more zinc, 2 more zincs, and here we go. And these are the few good coins from my test here. So it's not a bad little run. You know, much better than I was doing during the rainy season that we had. It's, you know, it's 2.5. You know, let's make that about $3, and you know, and maybe 3.5 hours of actual hunt time. So that was not bad at all. So that was appreciated. So I would have got you some video from this, but it just wasn't much to video. There wasn't any unusual or strange or great finds in this little test. But I did find some things out about the Makro Racer. Very accurate TID. 88s were virtually always quarters. 85s were virtually always dimes, occasionally copper pennies, and anything below 85 were almost always zincs. So that was very good. The 80s above, there were like 80 to 83 were just all zincs. 84, 85, 84 could be a zinc, but most of the time 84, 85s were copper pennies and dimes. And then up to the 88s, which were virtually always quarters. Maybe occasionally would jump down to 87. So I was really happy about the accuracy. And I'm not sure the accuracy was as good with the stock coil, but I've never taken it out and worked it continuously as long as I have with the stock coil. I mean, with the 10 inch by 5 by 5, and not the stock coil. But I will be taking the stock coil out again later. And now you see I have reinforced both sides now, because the other side was the old skinny one and it was half broken. And you know, I think I've got it perfect. I'm not going to send it back. I've repaired the weakness. In any case, that's all I've got, and I will talk to you later. And hopefully tomorrow I won't be too busy. You might have missed the interruption, a slight interruption here from the phone. Had to get to work for a while, but it wasn't it was a fast one. So hopefully tomorrow work won't interfere too much, and I'll be able to get a few finds at a new park I've been scouting. All right, I'll talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day.